I come from a background of dancing. So if you look behind me, this is my wife and I, ballroom dancing, right?
Beautiful.
So this is what I teach, right? This is partnership. This is men and women coming together. Man, man, women, 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 women. It's all the same thing, but this is partnership. This has to be learned. Just like a ballroom couple, like this doesn't just happen, right? Like you don't get on the dance floor and look at each other and go, "That's ballroom dance." Like, well, somebody has to teach you, right? like somebody has to teach you, like, which is your part, which is my part. How do we come together organically? Because you know this, if you've seen a ballroom couple slide and glide across the floor, it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, right? The two people who independently or their own people come together to create the new entity called the couple. So it's two becoming one. That requires a lot of timing, learning, you know what I mean? Movement, communication that isn't even verbal, communication with the fingers and the hands. This is my whole life. A ballroom
I-
couple, right? A ballroom couple, when they're gliding across, they're not talking, but they're completely, there's a dance literally. So relationships are a dance. Life, everything in life, every relationship you have with people, men and women, is a dance. There's a yin yang, there's an exchange. So how do you dance in the world as a businesswoman, as a friend, as a family member, as a wife? How do you dance with your husband? And there's a way, you know, if you're going to be the masculine, but he's the masculine, you're not dancing anymore. You're colliding, you're fighting. If
Mm,
he's too feminine and you're feminine, nothing's happening. You just look at each other. There's no dance. So we need what nature calls the yin yang, the masculine and feminine, right? The polarity is essential for the magnets to come together, create this new buzz that is called a dance. So this has to be learned, right? Ballroom dancers train for 5, 6, 7, 10 years to glide the way they do. Same thing in relationships. We think we should just be able to do this, but what it requires has to be learned. What it requires has to be learned, has to be practiced. In the beginning, it's awkward, which we step on each other's toes, we bang our knees together, we bump heads, right? Like all that, just like a relationship. Like, you know, and how do you communicate? How do you negotiate? How do you talk about vulnerability, right? Like when I dance with my wife, she has to be vulnerable to my leadership.
mhm.
And I have to earn that vulnerability. So she has to trust, the same as relationship, she has to trust that I'm not going to hurt her. Because actually, I could overdrive her, I could oversteer her, I could like over lead her, I could crank her shoulder, right? I could hurt her if
Yeah.
I'm too much of a bully. So this is not a dictatorship, it's respectful, you know, a sensitive leadership for her to be comfortable that I'm not going to get, she's not going to get hurt. She's not going to get spun into a wall or a table or another couple, that she could actually let go in my
Mhm.
arms, right? Be vulnerable to my leadership, right? That she could relax into that, you know. By the way, she's not passive. She's doing everything I'm doing backwards in high heels and a dress. She's not passive, right? But
Mhm.
we're complementary. We come together. She holds her frame in order to hear my communication, and together off we go. And I take the lead. I love taking the lead. And the masculine, you know, I'm the masculine energy. I love taking the lead and taking her on an adventure on the dance floor. She gets to let go, trusting that she's not going to get hurt. Just like a relationship, that I know what I'm doing, that I got it, right? And that she shines feminine energy, right? She radiates. She gets to smile. She gets to squeal a little bit. I still make my wife squeal because I surprise her, right? And the point is, by the way, energetically, it's a beautiful. Like nobody's looking at me; they're all looking at her because she's happy, smiling, shiny, feminine, radiant. Blah 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 blah. That's a relationship. That's what I teach. So the metaphors are fantastic. Woo.
Oh, for me, it's not just a metaphor. I've been dancing tango for the last like
Ah,
now, and I
you understand?
yeah, when I'm dancing with the advanced leader, the man is know what he's doing. I can just relax into the dance and just let it go and be really like in a different dimension. I would say I'll just feel ecstatic. I would
Yep.
just feel this energy that you forget about everything,
Yep.
no worries, you just like elated, and that's beautiful. And that exchange of energy and the dynamic, I think we can see that in relationship, the healthy relationship, when women learn how to really trust and let go, and knowing that, you know, a strong masculine presence is there, and they can now be in their feminine energy. But a lot of you know, I feel like men, they don't create that environment for women to open up, to be vulnerable, to trust them really. And I think it's what you just mentioned, that they can control their emotions in a way that they stable, they grounded, they unshakable. So because women feel that,
Oh
they
yeah. Oh
change.
yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
now they protect themselves, and they like, you know, they kind of create that wall, that boundary, you know.